What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we're actually starting off exactly where we left off in the last video. We're going to be working on the green E36 M3, and if you didn't see the last video, let me go ahead and show you guys what I found out about it. So in the last video I tore down the oil pan so I can change the oil pan gasket, which is sitting right here. As you can tell, the oil pan is off and it's sitting right there. But I found something interesting inside of the oil pan. This is what I found inside. So these, for those who don't know, are the timing chain guides. This is not supposed to be out of the engine. It's supposed to be sitting inside, and it's actually in 3 pieces, as you can tell. And I found that sitting inside the oil pan right over there, which is not a good sign. In a way, it is a good sign because I've been trying to figure out what the noise was coming from the engine, like a rattling noise. But I guess I found out exactly what the issue is, and it was those damn timing chain guides sitting at the bottom of the oil pan. So at least I know that's the issue. But that also means that I have to pull the engine out of here. So I was deciding on whether doing it on the car, which means I would have to tear apart this front end right here anyway. But I've just decided to take the engine out, clean it up at the same time, change the gaskets, and then throw it back in there with the manual swap. So for those who don't know, this car is an automatic and I have a manual transmission for it and all the parts ready for it. At the same time, I could just do the manual swap and get it over with, which will be much easier. And I can get this entire engine bay clean and the engine detailed because it's really grimy down there anyway. So that's the plan for this video. We're gonna be tearing this engine out of here and probably giving it a good wash because it needs it. So as you can tell, the engine is being hoisted up by this engine hoist right here. It's just hooked up on the sides. Because the subframe down here is just hanging, I actually need to put the subframe back onto it and then lower the engine down and then get all the necessary components from around the engine off. I don't think I need to throw the oil pan back in, but we'll see. So right now, let me just go ahead and bolt the subframe back onto the car. Alright guys, I went ahead and put the subframe back on there so the car can at least like roll back and forth when I put it on the ground. So now I'm gonna go ahead and drop it on the ground, move it a little back because I don't have too much space to work with here. So I'm just gonna move it back so I have a lot of space so I could get the hoist in here to pull this engine out of here because I don't have any room right here. Let me go ahead and drop it and then move it back. Okay guys, the car is pushed back. I got a lot of room to work with now. I'm not gonna lift it in the air just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and take apart everything that I need from on top of the engine or around the engine, and also this front end right here so I can pull the engine straight out. And then I'll go ahead and lift it. But first, let's get this front end off of here. Okay, as you guys can tell, I got this entire front end stripped. All the parts are just like laying around randomly. I still got to clean everything up. But next, I'm going to go ahead and work on getting this radiator out of here, air filter, and then like the wiring and stuff off from around the car. Okay, I believe I got everything off from around it, like all the wiring. Got the ECU unplugged, got the throttle cable unplugged. I believe all I have left is just take the engine mounts off, the exhaust off from the bottom, and also the fuel lines from the bottom on this side. And engine wise, it should be done. Then I could just move on to disconnecting the drive line from the transmission, and it should just come straight out. Fingers crossed. So off camera, I went ahead and took off the drive line and disconnected the transmission and everything else, and also the exhaust. And I believe I'm ready to pull the engine now. So hopefully there's no hiccups on the way. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the engine hoist from the side of the house and get this thing pulled out. Alright guys, today's a new day. In the last clip you just saw us yank out the engine from the E36 M3. I was just dead tired after that, so I didn't feel like continuing through the day. So that brings us to today. I got the engine sitting right here and I need to separate it from the transmission because this transmission is just, it's gonna go to trash. Completely useless automatic piece of crap transmission. So we're definitely not gonna need it. Let me go ahead and quickly show you guys what the engine bay looks like. Yep. It's just a dirty old engine bay. So I'm just gonna get this engine bay all cleaned up probably later on in this video or something like that. I'm not even gonna repaint it or anything like that because the paint itself is actually pretty good. It just needs a really good cleanup. As you can tell, it's just really grimy and dirty down here. But for now, let me go ahead and separate the transmission from the engine. Alright, I finally got the transmission off of the engine itself. I went ahead and threw back the oil pan just for the time being because I need to clean that too with the engine. As you can tell, this thing is insanely grimy. Like, this is supposed to be silver, but it's not. It's just really dirty, so I need to get this thing cleaned up. Looks like I need to order an accessory belt as well, so I'll make sure to put that in with the order. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to throw it on an engine stand so I can move it around and wash it much easier. Well, I doubt you guys can tell in that time lapse, but that was a struggle to do by myself. But I finally got it onto the engine stand. Man, my back is hurting already because of this shit. So next step is to get the engine pressure washed and looking all clean again. But I'm probably gonna leave that till tomorrow because, as you guys can tell, the sun is already going down and I don't really have much daylight left. So I'm just gonna leave it for tomorrow. Okay guys, the time has finally come where we get this engine cleaned up because this thing is insanely dirty and grimy, as you guys can tell. This thing is filthy. So first I'm gonna go ahead, use some compressed air and blow out all the little crevices and stuff of little dust and particles, and then I'll go ahead and push this thing outside, degrease it down, and then get it all washed up. So I went ahead and took off like the fan and then the harmonic balancer off of there just so I can clean like this area right here, or else if those were on there I wouldn't be able to clean it that well. So now I think I'm ready to push the engine over there and just get it washed. Well guys, this thing is looking a lot cleaner. I don't know if you guys can even tell that well on camera, but this used to be all like grimy up front, but it's looking way better. It's still not 100% because I'm still gonna spray it down with degreaser one more time and then rinse it off, but I have to let all the water dry off first. But either way, this thing is looking way better. So I'll get back to you guys after I do it one more time. Alright guys, the engine is all cleaned up. It's not perfect, but it's like 100 times better than before. As you guys remember, there was gunk like everywhere. So that's all good to go. Now I'm gonna start tearing it apart to get to the timing chain guides. So I have to take this valve cover off again. Plus that'll give me a reason to repaint this because I don't really like how it came out. I could do a much better job. So I'm gonna start taking this valve cover off and then work on getting all this stuff from the front off so I could get to this timing cover right here. Alright guys, so I got the timing cover off, I got everything off. As you can tell, I went ahead and took the cams off too, just so when you turn the crank, the piston doesn't slap any of the valves or anything like that, because the cams have pressure always down on the valves. And I took the timing chain out, so that means the crank and cams won't spin together, so you have to be careful on that part. But I went ahead and took it all apart. This gasket is all messed up. I already ordered brand new ones. I'm gonna go ahead and order new ones of these studs as well, because they're kind of eaten up by the chain, just rattling against it. I already ordered the timing chain guide, so all that is good to go. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you guys the actual guide itself. So this was one of the guides that was broken right here, which I had showed you guys in another video, but I just found out that this guide is broken as well. Right there, it's broken right there, and the piece is right here. It's supposed to just sit like this. I'm gonna go ahead and put an order in for that guide as well. I'm just gonna end the video here, seeing as I got a couple parts to order and I'm still waiting for a lot of the parts to come in anyway, so can't really continue this video anyway. So I think it's a good stopping point here. So in the next video, hopefully we'll get all the new parts in, we'll get it put back together and throw the engine back into the car. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below what you guys think about the build, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.